Is it just me, or are the adults in this franchise really irresponsible? My Hero Academia Heroes Rising is directed by Kenji Nagasaki and stars the voice cast from the series. The kids from Class 1A are sent to Nobu Island where they are assigned to work as the substitute heroes for its citizens. Things are going well until a new group of villains comes to wreak havoc. Overall, I would say this movie is definitely better than the previous one. This one I felt like had a lot more going for it overall. Of course, the last movie had some really great action, but in terms of the story, I thought it was kind of weak. This one, I think, did a lot better with the storytelling, the character development, and the action was really crazy. So it worked. First and foremost, I think the structure and the overall storytelling of this movie was definitely better. There was a clear arc for certain characters. They also gave some characters their chance to shine that they don't usually get in the series. Now, of course, there's a lot of characters to balance, and they do a good job of that, but you can definitely see that the show focuses more on certain ones more than others. So here, we get to see a lot more individual character moments where different people get to use their powers and get their time to shine. In the first half of the movie, you see the kids acting like the heroes of this island. You see them taking on everyday tasks, helping out people, and I thought that was really nice, seeing them develop into heroes, getting the chance to do things without the bigger heroes being around. I thought that made it a lot better for these characters to really grow, and for us to just see what they're capable of, what they can do without adult supervision. I also enjoyed the supporting characters more in this one. We spend a lot of time with these two kids, Maharu and Katsuma, these two siblings who live on the island. At first you think they're going to be really annoying, and in some parts they are, but I did find myself sympathizing with them, and the way they tied into the story I thought worked really well. Next thing, the action in this movie was crazy. From start to finish, you see these kids having to fight, push to their limits to take down these villains, who are also very, very formidable, very crazy, very powerful. Now, sometimes their powers are a little unclear because they start doing things and you're like, wait, how are they able to do that? What's their power? But overall, these people were pretty scary, and the fact that these kids had to fight them without any help from the bigger adult heroes was very impressive. The final battle is especially insane. I'm not going to spoil anything, but personally, I would not put it above the final battle in the last movie where we saw Izuku and All Might fighting together. That for me was top tier. But this one, stuff that happened in this one, was a close second. For a PG-13 movie, it was still pretty brutal. You see these kids really get whooped left and right, and it makes you really wonder if they're actually gonna make it out of this alive. I thought the animation for this movie was pretty solid. From the beautiful landscapes to the dynamic action, this was totally worth seeing on the big screen. What could have been better? For me, there's only two things that sort of bothered me as I was watching this. The first being that there were multiple moments where Maharu and Itsuma should have run away from the villains. The kids from 1A were trying to protect them, fighting these villains, but these kids would sit there and watch everybody get whooped, but not run away. When the villains were clearly coming to attack them, they would not run away until the last minute, and that bothered me a lot because there was multiple times where they could have easily gotten away while the villains were distracted, but they did not. And then obviously this is because they want to make it more dramatic or add more tension, but after a while it just gets annoying because you can see they had the opportunity, they had the window, but they just didn't use it. Second thing, the villains. Not that these villains were bad, I just think that they didn't get as much development as they could have. Out of all the villains we got, I think 9 had the most development. They gave him the most of an explanation of where his powers came from, who he was, what his goals are. I understood him the most. The others were just there. Some of them you get a small glimpse of their origin story, or maybe just a little bit of how 9 came to know them or recruit them to his cause. But I would have liked to get a little more development of who these villains were. But overall, I would still say they were pretty formidable and pretty scary. The verdict. I think My Hero Academia Heroes Rising is a great time. Not only was this movie structurally better than the last movie, it also had a lot more character development, a lot more unique character moments for all of our heroes, and it just had crazy action. Seeing this on the big screen was such a great experience. Seeing an anime movie in English subtitles on the big screen not too long after it came out in Japan is something you don't get often. So if you were watching this video while it's still in theaters, stop what you're doing and go watch it because you definitely do not want to miss it. So have you seen My Hero Academia Heroes Rising? What did you think about it? Did you like it more than the first one? Let me know down in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.